ladies and gentlemen. We welcome to our talk show as part of 5th Timor-Leste Energy Mining and Business Forum 2025. Today, we are honored to have representative from IMBR, Ms. Grisa, and from IMP, Mr. Francelino. Mr. Francelino is Director for Exploration and Development Director, and Ms. Grisa is CEO of IMBR. Together, we will explore the current landscape of investment, the process of energy and mining sectors, and the opportunities ahead for Timor-Leste. We look forward to have a productive and engagement discussion with you all, and thank you for joining us here today. I would love to ask a question to Ms. Grisa about the forum itself. This is the 5th edition of Energy, Mining and Business Forum, and it has been consistently sold out the event. What is the core vision behind this year's summit, and how does it build on success of previous years?
First of all, thank you very much for hosting me, you both. It's a pleasure to be in Timor-Leste again for maybe the 5th time.
Yes.
It's been quite some time that we've been coming here and working with the ANP. Back then it was ANPM since 2019. Before I go into discussing about the forum itself, I want to give the audience and you guys an understanding of what INVR does and why we're here and why this is the 5th edition. The company is a consultancy. We're not an events organizer, but we have one of the biggest networks on the planet in energy and critical minerals.
Mm-hmm.
And our scope is to create this bridge between governments and nations with investors, technology, and anything that they actually need in order to progress and develop their natural resources sectors. So back in 2019, we started with the first edition of the conference. It was when we announced the second licensing round for the country at the same time. And here we are after COVID, after road shows and editions, working for the 5th edition of a conference that brings together various stakeholders of Timor-Leste. So we're talking about, first of all, the government that is supporting us with their endorsement, and they're bringing in very interesting topics, very interesting presentations from I don't want to reveal too much about the topics of the conference because we have some surprises ready for the audience. But since I'm gonna watch it later, it has a lot to do with a combination of minerals in the country, mining sector, combined with oil and gas. That is a very important industry for the country and its economy. And we will combine it also with business and with local content. Having said that, you cannot have local content without strong local companies. So we have the government, we have incredible local companies presenting on their advances, on their services, on their potential, on their experience. But it's also a very important platform, and I think the unique platform to bring foreign companies to Timor-Leste, okay? And we create this bridge between, actually among government, local companies here in Timor-Leste, and the international players that are interested in the country. There are plenty, and every year we try to bring a different flavor to the conference. This year's focus is diverse. It's a lot on the licensing round, the second licensing round for minerals, but also we're presenting new advances in the oil and gas sector. Again, I don't want to reveal too much. The previous edition featured more focus on local content versus business, but this year we're presenting more businesses than before, more local businesses than before.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for a very comprehensive answer to that question. In regard to investment landscape and strategy sectors, I would like to ask a question to Director Francelino. For the investors and industry leaders attending this forum, what are the key opportunities in Timor-Leste energy mining and broader business sectors that we expect to have attract the most attentions of this year? Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. Once again, thank you for having me here on the stage today. Because the event will cover both energy and mining, so I'll try to address each one of the two topics. So I'll start with mining. In mining sector, the exploration activities has been very active for the last few years, especially since the establishment of the ANM, the National Authority for Mineral Activities. And there has been a few discoveries made, but what I'd like to highlight today is actually the potential of the mining is actually significant in Timor-Leste. And of course, there will always be associated business that is become part of the mining activity itself. But then tomorrow, between 24 and 26, you'll hear more from the ANM, the authority itself, and also the operators who are currently operating in the area in mining sector. Secondly, for energy sector, as you know, Timor-Leste has quite a few renewable energy potential, and one of the most advanced project in renewable energy is actually Manatu solar plant, and which is currently ongoing. Third, specifically on petroleum, just to highlight in terms of potential, so far we have produced about 1 billion of barrel equivalent from the territory, which is mainly came from Bayundan, IKKN, as well as the Kitan field. But then something to acknowledge as well here is actually the potential that we have discovered but yet to be developed, which is in terms of numbers, it's in total of about 3 billion barrel of oil equivalent, which is quite a lot and yet to be developed, which is something in front of us, and we need to develop in such a way to make it work. And lastly, recently we conduct our studies across the entire territory of Timor-Leste, both onshore and offshore. And the onshore studies currently ongoing, but then the offshore studies, we are about to come to the final stage, and it reveals that the total resources we have in place so far is actually more than 10 billion barrels of oil equivalents. So there is quite a few potential remaining in place to be explored. In terms of project, currently we have 4 exploration projects in onshore area, 5 exploration blocks in onshore area, and 4 exploration blocks in offshore area. On top of that, we have 1 pending development project, which is Great Sunrise Field, which is currently under ongoing negotiation with the relevant parties. And lastly, we have 2 another blocks, which actually decommissioning projects. That's actually Kitan and Bionome project. So looking at all these projects and the potential we have, there is quite a lot of potential business associated to these activities, and therefore we are looking forward to have more engagement with the delegates for the upcoming Timor-Leste Summit starting tomorrow, and we would like to have a more active communication and seeking for investment in the area.
Thank you. It's a very good when you present that with the data. In relation to the investment opportunity, as you have mentioned, then I would like to bring you to the policy and regulation of doing business in Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste has been working to improve the investment climate. What regulatory update, incentive or investors-friendly reforms is expected to be highlighted at this forum to give the confidence to the potential investors in the mining and oil and gas sector? I would like to ask the question again. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm gonna cover most part of the petroleum side because I may not be able to provide the detailed information from mining side. But in terms of petroleum, yes, you are rightfully said that we are currently working on improvement or reform the existing legal and fiscal regime to make it more work. And in detail, you'll hear from our director for legal and commercial, Director Carlos, during the day two of the summit. But
he'll do the presentation, right?
Yes, he'll do the
Perfect.
presentation. He'll be on panel discussion as well. But today, something that I would like to highlight in this forum is actually the objective of our ongoing reform of the legal and fiscal is actually something we gain from our previous experience we have so far, where there are actually some pros and cons from relevant operators, and therefore we would like to improve it. But the whole objective is actually to make our legal and fiscal regime become more attractive, and probably more incentive to make to enable the exploration and development of the field we have in the area, especially those fields like marginal fields, which has been there for quite some time, but then due to all these obstacles of the fiscal and legal arrangement, that makes the fields less attractive for the investors. Similarly, with one of the biggest fields discovered long time ago, the kelp deep, which yet to develop because of its own challenges on in terms of depth of the reservoir itself, and also the temperature, pressure, and the CO2 content itself. And therefore, this time around, with the refinement we have, we'll try to enable all the possible options to make all this field to be developed. On top of that, from technical perspective, we also actually redo our study in terms of prospectivity of the area for the entire country. But then we also come up with one refined domains for across the area, where we'll have 5 domains, and these 5 domains actually take into account the water depth, the data, the complexity of the geology itself, which is actually in some area the area actually very complex, and it turned out that the seismic data image become very poor. And also on top of that, we also try to address for these 5 domains the elements of the prospectivity or potential of the area in terms of the states of the petroleum operation itself. I think that's very much.
Thank you. It's a very comprehensive, and I hope that information will be reaching out to all of the potential investors outside, and we look forward for these investors to come and invest. Related to private sectors, I would like to ask both of you the question. Probably Manakriso also may add when whatever Mr. Francelino may say later. So this summit features more than 50 distinguished speakers, as you have said. Many of whom represent updated private sectors and joint ventures. So can you say what types of new partnerships of investment proposals participants that we should look out for?
I love this question. First of all, in order to reply, I want to add a bit of context in terms of how this platform works, right? It's not just a conference. Like, we're working for the entire year to be able to promote the country as an attractive investment destination. For no country is it an easy task, right? Because we work with Libya, we work with Argentina, we work with Morocco, we work with Timor-Leste. So we work with different countries. Never an easy job or an easy task for different reasons. The companies that come to this conference, they know very well that they're interested. Okay, so they have done their analysis, they have spoken with the ANP, and they're very determined to come and invest in the country. Sometimes this fails, right? Because we have cases where everything is ready in every single market in the world, but you might have a hiccup in negotiations. So I don't want people to think that there's no interest. Sometimes, you know, but the companies that are coming here are very, very serious. They're companies that want to come and support. They're companies that are very attracted by what Timor-Leste has to offer, about how ANP and A&M have worked behind the scenes to create an environment that's very, I don't know, I try not to use this word. I will not use it. I will just say again, attractive, okay? But something that, brings everyone together. So this platform is made to facilitate this and make it also easy for them to listen to everything that the country has to offer at that moment, but also to have back-to-back B2B and B2G meetings. What does that mean? That we have, let's say, a company from Singapore that has never visited Timor before. They will have the opportunity to sit down with the ANP, depending on the level or the type of company that they're. Would they sit down with a specific department from the ANP or the ANM, and they talk business, they talk future, they talk how can we work and cooperate together. Whilst at the same time, they also meet with the companies, the local companies that can offer them services that they cannot bring. It's very important to include local companies because here we have a variety of services that can be offered, especially in the petroleum sector. Having said that, it's also a great opportunity for current companies to promote what they're doing outside of the country. Okay, it's important to give them the microphone and say, hey, I don't know, I will say Timor Resources, okay, a very well-established company in the country. What have you been doing the past year? Show us, talk about it from different perspectives. So you create this platform for B2G, but also for B2B conversations. And usually we have around 200 meetings during the conference. Okay, that's what we did for 3 days. We really need these 3 days to create the environment where everyone gets a mic, speak about what they're building, but at the same time to give time to the foreigners, the foreign investors to have conversations, meaningful conversations on how they're going to move ahead with investing in the country.
Perfect. Thank you so much. In relation to that question, I would like to ask one of the questions related to previous questions. What kind of a specific target of this firm that AMP is actually targeted for? Are we looking for some specific investors or a specific influence, or what we really need, what we really want to get from this forum?
Thank you. Yeah, actually, most of the answer has been covered by, I'll say, I'm gonna kind of not repeat, but complementary what has been answered by Mana Krisha. But yes, we have been out there for quite some times, and we talked to several companies. But this time we want to make it special. We wanna them to be in our country. Good, that's the first objective that we like. Of course, in the collaboration of IMBR, of course, our EO for this event. But yes, we're gonna have them to be in the country, to have them B2G discussion, but then also to have B2B discussions. Good. So that they can explore the potential across different projects, different companies, and then what can we do from there? Look forward to, yes. Yeah. And on top of that, since we are actually preparing for licensing round next year, so it's actually a good opportunity for us to start talk and touch on the upcoming licensing round in 2026. It's part of the preparation. At the same time, with this event, we actually, of course, we are expecting for licensing round 26, preparing for that. But then, as per our regulation, we also allow for to have a direct negotiation, and therefore, if there is any interest company interested in any part of the Timor-Leste territory, we are welcome to discuss and enter into PSC if that's the case. Secondly, in terms of existing project, we have as I mentioned previously, we have now at least 9 exploration blocks, 1 pin development blocks, and 2 develop decommissioning project. Some of the operators out there in our territory, they are actually looking for farm-in in order to make the project works financially, technically, all the stuff. And therefore, this opportunity is actually a good this occasion is actually a good opportunity as well for the existing operators and any interest company that's newly coming to the country to have a kind of a B2B discussion for potential farm-in into that project to make the project work. And of course, there will be a few goods and services associated to the project, and that's where when the business comes in. But then, what is one of the most important thing I would like to highlight here is actually for our local companies. This is actually a good chance for them to actually interact and engage with the international companies. One is actually try to see, because they now by having this event, they now have idea in terms of the project currently ongoing or in the near future, or uh, during the period of exploration operations. And by then, they actually identify some of potential projects that they can engage with. So they can immediately enter into one of the projects that they see they're capable to involve, or they might see that as one of the potential project in the future. Then they have chance now to start preparing themselves. Um, that's very much on petroleum, but I guess because both petroleum and mineral is actually the same extractive industries. So I mean, I guess the same process in terms of engagement and business should apply in almost the same way of running.
Thank you. Is there any commitment agreement or any proposal agreement to be signed between the parties with the government or with the between the private sectors has been comes to your table or not? In order just to maximizing the opportunity of this event, given that this event is so big. So is there any update on that?
Yes, there is. I'll say there is quite a few events that highlight the importance of this fifth
Perfect.
energy and mining summits and business forum. I'll say one is actually, as you may heard yesterday, the Council Ministry has published uh, uh, one of the potential agreement between the government of Timor-Leste and Woodside to have a cooperation agreement for the Timor-Leste liquefied natural gas in onshore Timor-Leste. Yeah. Yeah. And on top, in addition to that as well, they are also coming to agreement for cooperation to assess the pipeline from Great Sunrise to Timor-Leste, as well as the development of the Great Sunrise itself. So that's one of the main event, I'll say, main item of this fifth energy summit that will be signed potentially in this event as well. Secondly, from mining sector, they are going to announce their second licensing round after they conduct the first licensing round, I guess 2-3 years ago. They are now ready to go for the second licensing round. So that's one of the big event as well. And thirdly, again, as I have mentioned in previous discussion, this AMP itself, we would like to maximize this opportunity to start spread the improvement that we are going to make for our legal and fiscal regime. And I'm not in the position right now to provide the details, but you will hear from again Director Carlos, our legal and commercial director tomorrow. Not tomorrow, second day of the event, and yes, he'll provide as much as possible information in terms of the improvement. What are the items to be improved? What can we make better? Based on the progress of the project at this stage. Another important item that I would like to highlight is actually one of the expectation again from this PSC, actually again to have that B2B discussion or even B2Z discussion for entering the PSC, or even potentially farming into the existing PSC. And of course, for our local companies to be well aware of the progress of the project, existing project, and the potential involvement or direct involvement of their project of the local companies into this project. Lastly, I would like to say that recently we conduct a survey, and the result of the survey came out that Timor-Leste not quite on the map of the industry yet, especially the onshore. So one of the participants of the survey saying that they can't really find any information in terms of potential of the onshore. So that's actually one of the challenges we have.
Good.
And therefore, one of the main objective for this event is actually we try to put Timor-Leste on the map for potential investors to be aware of their potentials, and they know that we are ready to welcome them to invest in Timor. Of course, with the partnership of our EO IMBS.
Thank you, Mr. Francelino. This is a very comprehensive information, and I think many our population also haven't had known that information, and by you providing that information, it will be very good reference for everybody outside there who just watching this talk. So, yes, when we comes when we are talking about the investors, one thing that I would like to ask Mana Krisa about the investment climate, because many reports underline that in just a few past month report about our climate investment climate underline that investors still hesitant to do the investment in the country, and the argument was underlined. Majority of the investors underlined that one of the challenges to invest in the country was political instability, and also land allocation issues. On top of that, the accessing to finance also considered as a challenge for the investors to invest in the country. So a part of that, they also underline that there is no investment protections in Timor-Leste. So what is your message to those investors that outside they wanted to invest in Timor-Leste, but they still hesitant to come?
I love this question.
And that is the first question. The second question is, how do you see so far in the previous years you are coming here to do the same event? What is the difference between past years and what do you see now? What do you want to compare to the investors outside there? Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you for this. I love this question because it's something I advocate a lot. The team advocates a lot as well. As you probably know, we're not just an event. We do the event as part of a promotion for the country itself. Okay. Indeed, Timor is a small country. We all know that. Let's not talk about what everybody knows. Yes, it's a small country. However, it has resources, important resources. It has a variety of diverse resources, and that's very unique. Okay, and it's located so strategically in the off-taker's backyard, meaning that and backyard is not a bad thing, by the way. It's actually a great thing because they have direct access to you. You have a plethora of mineral resources. You have proven resources and reserves in the petroleum sector. And of course, there are plenty of opportunities and a future for energy transition. So that alone creates a very attractive mix of opportunities for investors because, look, they're not just looking lovely. Okay, we have an offshore field, proven reserves, fantastic, let me go and invest. No, they're looking into other things that you tapped upon, but that's just the surface of what you're discussing. They're looking into infrastructure. Maybe there's no infrastructure, but there is a plan. And this is what they need to understand, that, okay, they don't expect it to be completely ready for investment and to have everything in place. This is not Abu Dhabi, okay? This is Timor-Leste. And there are many countries like Timor-Leste that attract investment. Why? Because they're ready. They have a reply and they have a proposal and they have a value proposition for investors. And Timor-Leste has this value proposition, okay? And they listen. Like Director Francelino just said, we convey the survey. We have conveyed the survey as well, like working with the ANP as their ANPM as back then as their supporter and an advisor consultant for the promotion, okay? Having said that, what did we understand? What did we grasp, okay? Yes, it's not the most famous country in the world, but when you look at the value proposition that we have, it's very attractive. Why? It's a safe country, okay? I've never met a country as safe as Timor-Leste.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to add, no, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. And it's something that has not changed. I'm trying to combine your two questions. Something that has not changed since 2019 that I first stepped foot in here. Okay. Then at the same time, you see that it's growing, it's developing. You see new buildings. You guys are ready. You understand where you need to go. And that's the most important element. Nothing is ready until you have a necessity for it to build. You're not going to buy ingredients from the supermarket unless you want to cook, and you're not, that's how it works. And when it comes to attraction of investment, you are attractive. Why? Because you have stability. I don't know why you said there is a sense of instability. Absolutely not. None. It's let's say a country that does not give you peaks and lows. And that's something that investors actually appreciate about Timor-Leste. You have a team that has incredible capacity and technical knowledge. And when they don't have it, they go and get it. They go and grab it. They know exactly what they're missing. Like we're having a podcast at ANP. I've never had a podcast in any other authority I've worked with. And there are 50 governments I've worked with and authorities, okay? And comparing Timor-Leste with other markets, I think it's quite unfair, okay? Because you guys have the off-takers next to you. The moment you develop something, they're gonna come and grab it. I work with Argentina, Brazil, the lithium triangle, and they're always looking to, wow, how can we reach the off-takers? And you don't have this dilemma. They just want to see that you are moving ahead with the licensing rounds, that you listen to what they request from you, because investors are not silly. They've done their research. They know exactly what they want from you. But at the same time, we're not going to sell at the wrong price. Yeah. Okay? We're not going to attract the wrong investors. And they have been doing a great job, and they have been reviewing the regime. They have been reviewing the round and the qualifications and what they're asking. And they know exactly the partner they need to match to be able to move ahead. So having said that, I do not believe that Timor-Leste is not like, it's a very big risk for an investor.
Yeah.
So, and you can see that by the conference, right? This is why we have attracted so many companies coming here. There are way more that are coming next year, because sometimes like promotion engine needs fuel, pun intended. But that's the testament of this is actually the conference. Okay, it's the moment in time where everybody comes in the country. We were featured in NASDAQ. I mean, for the first time ever, something's working really, really well. Okay, and having worked with the ANP and A&M, I'm sorry A&M is not here, but I've never seen, and I say this, and you can use it against me, but I've never seen such an appetite for knowledge transfer. I've never seen an appetite for always moving forward and ahead and learning something new and saying, why don't we try this? Usually governments are very secluded. They're very, I don't really want to try this. Oof, it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to leave the office. Many of them are. You guys are not, I say you because like ANP is not this way. You will call me at 2 a.m. and say, Chris, I have this idea. How do you're not asking, like you say, how can we implement it? And you're very keen to receive feedback. And let me tell you that this is the number one thing and the number one element investors are interested in. They want to say that they are heard, they listen, and that creates an opportunity. Yes. Sorry that I have, and since 2019, that's the progress I have seen. And this is remarkable.
Thank you.
And we have a long way, right? Yes. Of course.
It's been changed quite a little bit.
I'm too passionate. I love Timor-Leste. Everybody knows, but
we can see the change a little bit, but we're moving slow, but we do changes. That's the thing that I can say too.
And you listen, listen, and you're happy to implement, and you're happy to incorporate the feedback from investors. That is a very unique selling point for Timor-Leste. And I think you should be using your unique position in the map much, like better. I would just say better without using any other word. Yes. Okay.
Related to that one, I would like to ask both of you a question. Maybe this is the last question. On long-term strategy perspective, Timor-Leste just recently joined ASEAN, and last year we are members of the WTO, both for economic development, covered oil and gas sectors too. So I would like to ask a question about that one, specifically with the global market shifting rapidly, and particularly in the energy transitional mineral and renewable energy. So, how is Timor-Leste's positioning itself to remain competitive?
Thank you. Yes, I agree with you. Energy transition has been one of the major challenges for oil and gas exploration and development. And to share, it has been published. So to share with the audience, in 2019, our second licensing round, we do release all the blocks, and uh, out of the blocks award, one was actually immediately um, uh, called back or rejected. The reason was being they are actually more into renewable energy instead of exploration and development. Um, but what I would like to say here is actually that oil and gas will be there for some times, and and according to most of the authors I have talked to, they're saying that the energy demand will be get higher and higher, increase and increase, and without oil and gas, we won't be able to sustain our energy demand until sometimes where we have full developed our renewable energy. Um, and on top of that, as recently we adhere to ASEAN, um, it is understood that one of the objective of the ASEAN is actually to develop renewable energy for the target of net zero carbon in 2050. But then I think they also acknowledge that oil and gas is still important for country development, and therefore our His Excellency President and our Prime Ministry has made it clear that we need our resources for our people. That's the strong message. We need our resources not for something fancy, but for our people, for development of our country. And therefore, uh, we'll from our perspective, we'll continue to explore the potential we have in terms of oil and gas potentials, but we try to make it balance with the renewable energy by having potential CCS project in the future, which is with our recent studies in collaboration with Santos, the operator back then. We have conducted the CCS potential for the injection of the CO2. But then with the latest information on cessation of production of biomass, which still left quite a few resources on the ground. It's about 3 CCF, and some portion about I'll say 50% of it, or even less, 30-40% of it is actually recoverable, can be recovered, but we need some technology as well. But again, the objective, the main reason for the cessation of production of biomass was actually due to the gas demand in Northern Territory, Australian Northern Territory, as well as the high operational cost because of the aging facilities of the Bayuna, which was established back in 20 years ago, and therefore those are the reason for the Bayuna to be changed. But again, what I'm trying to say is actually we still look forward to continue our exploration and development of the oil and gas potential for our people, and then we try to balance with the global concern on climate change by having the CCS project, and to acknowledge also that out of now, Timor-Leste carbon emission is actually zero. So if we have that CCS project running, that we actually will be part of the negative carbon emission, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's all. I hope I covered everything. Otherwise,
Yes,
feel free.
definitely. You already covered.
Thank you.
I think yesterday we had informal conversations about the market access. One of the point that I think one of colleagues from the IMBR team actually mentioned our decision for market access linked to Indonesia, China, Australia, and recent our membership to ASEAN, how Timor-Leste is actually maximizing that one. So I would like to ask the question to Chris. What is your cherry pick message for Timor-Leste to benefit in all these potential big market access for now and in the future?
You're getting me very passionate. I don't know if you do that on purpose to kind of like take me, but first of all, to add what Director Francelina said, what Timor-Leste, and this is to the audience, and this is to the investors, and actually to the locals as well, right? We're looking for just transition, okay? Oil and gas will still be part of the energy mixture for the mix for the next years to come. It is essential for a country to make the most out of their reserves, especially a country like Timor-Leste that has plenty proven, okay? And we owe it to explore them and exploit them for the people. And we should not be talking about just energy, just covering our energy needs. I want to say it as simply as possible for the people to understand. We should be looking to abundancy. We are a resources-rich country that should be looking into maximizing it, not just like going through and passing and just making ends meet. That is not what Timor-Leste deserves, okay? That's not what we have. I'm sorry, I speak like an ambassador of the country. Everybody knows that, but I am. And I'm very passionate because I feel that you are located exactly where you said, like the access to these massive markets out there that are thirsty for energy. They're begging for resources. Japan, you're not that far from Japan either. I mean, Japan is importing from all around the world. Why not from Timor? Okay, and it's a good and stable partner. They have technology that they can offer here. We need to be smart. We need to, knowledge transfer. Come. It's a beautiful place. Invest. By the way, it is a stunning place. It is a pleasant place to work with. And the people, you guys speak English. You go to so many emerging markets and there's no access to the local communities because of language barriers. You do not have that here. So you have Australia. You can pretty much sell to anyone around you. Anyone around you. You have a very interesting proposal. So what I want to say is come and invest. Please come and visit first. Before even investing, come and visit this incredible place. I have still not been to Jacko Island. This is probably one of my bucket list items because it's always a lot of work here. You come and you think that you're not going to have the opportunities to meet with the leaders of this country. It's the other way around. They are around you. You see them. You touch, you feel what this place went through. And it makes you so passionate about it that you cannot not invest. And there are many places out there to invest. And this is how investors, they look into the risks and they do their own risk assessment, but they're people. And people fall in love with concepts, with countries, with markets. So I would say that anyone who has not visited Timor-Leste, please come and visit. Their door is always open. Knock on the door. Find out about their direct negotiation opportunities as well. Come and take a look. They're looking into all sizes of established partners. So we're looking from junior exploration companies, but have something to offer, and they're very HSE friendly. But also we're looking for like the majors to come and have a look, and they're not going to regret working with this country, and they will see their impact immediately in this wonderful place. So their door is open. We're always happy to help as INV. Our team is obsessed with Timor-Leste. And they said to me, again, hold it against me, but why people go to Bali when they can come to Timor-Leste? So we're inviting everyone to come, visit, and invest. They're not going to regret it. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. Maybe
Yes, if I can add, just to acknowledge our brothers from ASEAN, because from previous summit we do have some delegates from ASEAN countries, but this time you have quite a lot from ASEAN. Even we have secure executive representative from ASEAN from energy sectors. It's actually good news. But again, we welcome all the countries to invest in Timor, but we more than welcome to have our brothers ASEAN invest in our country. Just this actually one of the objective to have the motto we have recently for ASEAN become reality, which is together we rise. This is what we're promoting, and we hope it's work.
Thank you, thank you. Seems that we have more people, colleagues from ASEAN comes now after the join after we members of ASEAN. So thank you.
Every single country of ASEAN will be. I think
Yes.
almost every single. I think we have one missing, but they are represented one way or another at the conference.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So these are the end of my questions to you. We definitely have very good conversations, and I hope that the informations that being provided to by this our honorable guests here today, hope the information reach to the investors, and the information also reach to our people here about what is actually going on the summit and what is actually going on the oil and gas sector